Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, Four of Wands is out. Her card's just like flipping out all over the place. Four of Wands, Five of Cups. Oh. So, I was getting ready to come on here and say, like, sometimes at the end of the day, you are in an energy that you shouldn't talk to people. You shouldn't make decisions. You shouldn't, like, you got some anger boiling up. But at the end of the day, you got to check in with your body and just be like, what do I have going on right now? Have I had enough to drink? Have I had enough to eat? Am I really tired because I didn't sleep very well last night? Like, check in with yourself first. Because the energy that you're in, I feel this very frustrated, like very angry, like, oh, just like, fuck that. Fed up. But I feel like it's coming from a story you're telling yourself because you're tired. Because you're hungry. And your body's a little bit depleted. And so, like, don't make a decision from this place. Okay? Don't give up, number one. Don't just say fuck it and walk away, or being in this energy or witnessing things from this perspective is what damages things or creates rifts or something like that. You're coming from a place of lack right now. There's something that you're lacking. It could be that you're lacking attention or sleep or food or dopamine or attention. You're looking for it in the wrong place. And you have expectations about getting it from that place. And when you don't, or when it's like not there because they're in lack too or something, you like seek it out in a place that is already lack. And you twist the story around to be like, I don't know, that there's something wrong with you, or it's about you, or there's something wrong with them, or something like that. You don't know everything. In this state of mind, you definitely don't know anything. Not anything, but everything. You don't know all the things. So sometimes it's just gotta be like, okay, I don't know all the things. I don't need to fill in the story with whatever else. I just need to take some time to take care of myself. Someone is not answering your text messages, or that's what I see most of all. Somebody not answering your text messages. Don't fill in the blank. That if they cared, they would. Though sometimes they're lacking, and so they have to prioritize things in their life. And it could be that you're not on the top of the list of those priorities if they're just overwhelmed or struggling to get by or only have so much time. You're not on the priority list of things that they fill their time with right now. You do something with that. It also just, though, is a mirror that says, there's something else that needs my energy and my attention and my time. What needs your time right now? What needs your focus besides you going and, like, eating some protein or something like that? Like, you're depleted in some kind of way right now. And so just check in with yourself and be like, what energy am I in right now? Because it's like in the process of being projected on somebody else. And so it's important to obviously check in. You're a little depleted right now. That's what I'm hearing. You're depleted. It's like you're needing someone to celebrate you. You're needing attention from, you're needing to see your value in some way. But you're seeking it in the wrong place. You're needing to see your value outside of yourself because you're in a state of lack. you're in a state of lack. And it's like, why won't anybody appreciate me? Why don't they appreciate me? Why don't they celebrate me the way that I celebrate them, or something like that? Because you're an overgiver. Because you're an overgiver, and they're not. Your boss. Definitely somebody's boss. Definitely somebody who is in a relationship with somebody else. Somebody's parent, for sure. Your dad. This is like father wound kind of stuff that comes up at this point. Why didn't he call me on my birthday? Why didn't he get me what I wanted for my birthday, or something like that? Just like inner child. So when you're in a state of lack for whatever reason, for whatever is going on in your physical body, you are in a lower state of consciousness. And so it's like you're in your inner child's energy without realizing it. And you're like on the verge of throwing a fit. But what's coming up is some kind of wound from the past. Because when she feels lack, it takes her back to take her or him, take it however it resonates, back to when they were lacking in the past. And if this is a woman in your now reality that you are angry with, or who isn't giving you what you need, or whatever it is, then it's probably most likely, lack when it comes to your mother. You didn't get your needs met with your mother, from your mother when you're younger. Or if it's a man, typically it's a masculine energy. It could be a mother too, and like if you're experiencing this from a man, it could be your mother because your mother was always in a masculine energy. But typically, if it's a man that you're frustrated with right now or whatever, it takes you back to a place of like, I didn't get my needs met from my father. So when you're in lack, you revert back to that age. Wasn't getting what they needed. And sometimes parents don't know what to give them because the kid doesn't, like the parent hasn't deduced that, why are they throwing a fit right now? Like, what is going on? What can I even do for you? And at the end of the day, that child is tired. That child is hungry. And they didn't even know it at the time. They're just throwing a huge fit. Until the parent takes a step back. We didn't necessarily always have parents who were conscious of, they were just very reactive. If you had reactive parents, they were reacting to your behavior instead of looking underneath at what the actual need was. And a lot of times it's a physical need. Your need wasn't met because your parent couldn't be the detective they needed to be. But they also couldn't read your mind. So, but you're being taken back to, like at the end of the day, I just needed a hug. Or I just needed a sandwich. And someone to say, like, not attached to that, not attached to what it was that was coming their way. For some of you, it definitely comes from neglect, where it wasn't always about, like, you were in a healthy place, but maybe your parent wasn't in a healthy place. And so you getting your emotional needs met, you were neglected in that way because they weren't taking care of themselves. And so they were in a state of lack. They weren't eating right. They were drinking. They were just had unhealthy habits. And so their vibration was lower and they were in lack. They were hungry. They lashed out or they ignored you. And you were neglected and your needs weren't met. So whatever situation you're in right now, it's not you, it's your inner child. So get curious about what she or he needs. And try not to project it on this other person. If it's consistently that this other person doesn't even care about your needs, then that needs to be revisited for sure. But if you're going to them from a state of lack, without voicing what your actual needs are, you don't even know what your needs are. You need to be clear about what that is, what those are. If you're clear about what your needs are, and they agree, okay, I can, I can partner with you in that. And then it still doesn't happen, then, you got to choose your partners wisely, obviously. You got to choose your boss wisely, too, you know what I mean? If you're over giving and you're just not getting something in return or whatever, your needs aren't being met, you're just going to end up depleted and drained. Mental health, right now, big deal, is a big deal. And so if you're not meeting your mental health needs, which stem from a physical place too, if you're just constantly, if you never have time during the day to eat at all, if you don't make time during the day or before or whatever it is to sustain you throughout the day, if you don't have time, if you're not given the time to take a break and eat or take care of your physical body, you're going to end up depleted and overgiving and drained and burnt at some point. 11:11 on my recording. I feel like for some of you, you could be on the verge of burnout because your physical needs aren't being met. That feeds into your mental and emotional needs not being met. And at the end of the day, you're responsible for that. Now, it's really hard when you don't have the time off of work to take care of that, or like I don't have any sick days, or I just have to push myself through it. And I have a feeling you have time and resources that you're not aware of. If you need help figuring out where those time and resources are, or you need tools or tips or techniques for chipping away at it little bits at a time before you reach burnout, because you reach burnout, I was just talking to a client about it today. If you reach burnout, you're going to need to take a massive amount of time off. And I'm sure you don't have the resources for that. You need to take care of yourself little bits at a time on the regular. And it's not going to end up, it's not someone else's fault right now. Well, sometimes it is. But where you are, that's your reality. Okay? The job that you're in, that's your reality right now. How can we work around that to make sure that your needs are met with what we're working with for right now? You have this amount of time. Like, can you plan your meals ahead of time? Can you get up 15 minutes earlier? In order to, like, when you get home from work, there's no time to clean, there's no time to cook, there's no time to shop, or you're exhausted and there's no mental space to be able to do any of that stuff. When would I ever have time to vacuum the whole house? So what if you spent 7 minutes every morning cleaning something, instead of needing to spend 2 hours doing it and catching up later? What if it was just chipping away at it little bits at a time? What if you worked out for 7 minutes in the morning? Is that not enough? Is that ridiculous? Because you can't spend an hour working out in the morning? No, start off small. That little bit of getting your heart rate up is healthy. Don't judge it. If you can only meditate for 7 minutes in the morning or in the afternoon or whenever it is, it's way more than what you were getting before, and it will accumulate. If you can keep at it and keep at it and keep at it, find something, an amount of time that's manageable, and or a habit that's manageable for a certain amount of time, you will be able to sustain it. And then maybe after you reach that, whatever that goal is, a week, 2 weeks, whatever, then you increase that to 8 minutes. Do that for 2 weeks. Then you increase it to 9 minutes. Do that for 2 weeks. And just watch the effect of it on your mental health and your energy level. I think this is a real call to check in with yourself and it's almost like radical responsibility. What are you not taking care of for yourself? What are your needs that you are not meeting, that you have expectations of someone else meeting? And if you're meeting all of those things for yourself and you have a certain agreement in a dynamic, you have an agreement that, you know, if I come to you with this certain need, or like in this relationship, like what I need back from it is like this thing. And they agree to it. And it's not being met. Obviously, have some patience, check in with yourself and find out where you are. Is that need reasonable to be asked from someone else? And are you meeting your other needs in all the other ways too? And if so, you need to revisit that conversation. But check in with yourself first. The energy that I feel right now is lack and depletion. You're a little depleted. And so let's take care of that. Let's go take care of that. Okay? Before you take it out on someone else. Yes, Four of Pentacles. It's like saving, conserving your energy. Like you need to dip into your savings account right now, your energetic savings account. Instead of like, there are reserves. There are like time reserves there that you had set aside for other things. But I have a feeling you need to dip into that time, like what you were planning on doing or what you were wanting to do. That needs to be set aside for a little bit. Like I was planning on going to the pool this afternoon. But my house really needs, the downstairs really needs to be vacuumed. And I don't really have very much time, or I really need to go to the grocery store before I get my kids back. And as much as I hate to do that, the mental drain of like the impending doom of it, doing it while the kids are here, I don't have time in the rest of the week, actually. My schedule is totally packed. So it's going to actually feel better for me to go and get that done, check that off the list. And if I have time, then I'll still go to the pool. And if not, I know that I'm still going to feel better for having accomplished that and for having food in the house. Because, you know, I need food to not end up in a place of lack or depletion or whatever. So there are tools and there are places we can look that I can help you look if you want a little bit of coaching about that. And, you know, we can dive into kind of where that's coming from, maybe like what inner child is talking to you right now, and maybe if there's some more attention that we need given to that 5-year-old or that 12-year-old or that 17-year-old or whatever. There's a little depletion there. It feels to me like right around the ages, anywhere from like 12 to 16, 11 to 16. It's like puberty age. That's what it feels like for me, the impressionable age. It's that inner child. So if you want some help with that, you want to do a private reading, all my information is down in the box below. All my links, everything you need to know are in the box below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure that you hit the little notification bell so that you get notified for any of my videos coming out. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you soon.